It's a casual day, getting up in the morning, getting ready for my day, put my shoes on, grabbing my keys and wallet, and I'm headed out the door. Everything seems to be going perfectly fine. Down the stairs, just getting in the car. Perfect weather outside. It's absolutely beautiful. Getting that engine going, getting it warm. And I'm just about headed out and I'm driving, and then suddenly I forget something and angrily I'm very mad every single time this happens to me. Every time. I go inside and I forget my mask. This is a COVID lifestyle.
Hey, I'm Eric, and I remember we could eat inside at restaurants.
My name's Nick, and I forget my mask every time I go to Costco.
My name's Kellen, and I've had to resort to other means to get my stress out.
Today we're going to be talking a little bit about COVID and how the state responded to the pandemic.
So we're going to teach you a little bit about some court cases and some bills and kind of take you along this journey of what we've learned so far.
This topic is important because the governor's handling of the pandemic has impacted every single one of you and will continue to impact you.
So I interviewed an owner of a business, and they gave us a little bit about the insights on the way their business handled the pandemic.
I was even able to contact Representative Melanie Stansbury to get a more legislative take on the whole pandemic.
The President of the United States decided that the handling of the COVID pandemic be delegated to each state's governor.
The governor of New Mexico, Michelle Lujan Grisham, has elected to keep all essential businesses open while closing small businesses and restaurants. The governor has elected that we all stay home in quarantine and we protect the loved ones. While testing positive, people have to stay at quarantine for 14 days, as well as moving out of state and then coming back, you also have to quarantine for 14 days. The mandates that are put in place are here to protect everyone around us from this virus, especially those with pre-existing respiratory illnesses and also older people of age.
You know, obviously these times are unprecedented, which requires an unprecedented response, but there are some things the government probably could have done a little bit better. The second lockdown, closing down gyms, closing down restaurants, that's not even where the data was saying it was being spread from. It's from personal gatherings.
Even though we have to keep everybody safe from this virus, we're going to dig a little bit deeper into the details about the COVID-19 response.
My name is Judge Eric, and today we'll be hearing Kelly versus the First Baptist Church of Oklahoma. So let's go.
My name is Kellen, and I'm representing the First Baptist Church.
My name is Nicholas, and I'll be defending Governor Kelly.
In violation of the First Amendment and the Free Exercise Clause, my church was punished for disobeying gathering restrictions.
Governor Kelly added provisions to her initial shutdown to protect everybody that gave churches extra specific fines for disobeying gathering orders, which the First Baptist Church clearly disobeyed, which was not cool because we are trying to protect this state.
The persecution of churches of Oklahoma is so blatantly unconstitutional to the point that it shouldn't be allowed to stand.
As the federal judge presiding over this court, I have decided that, in fact, we will rule in favor of the church, for this is a free country.
Dude, that was crazy what happened in Oklahoma.
I know, bro. I can't believe the Supreme Court ruled that way.
And in New Mexico, did you hear when governor got sued for her lockdown
Oh yeah, by
restrictions?
Reeb. It was like August 2nd or something like that.
Yeah, because those civil penalties were kind of outrageous.
Yeah, I know. I guess they argued a lot.
I think it's really good to see civilians suing the government for unjust laws. Same with civilians putting forth their own legislation to be proposed.
I think that the civilians need to be involved more. I think they did a good job of, questioning the governor's orders and, trying to fight back.
Dude,
What?
do you remember when the Senate in D.C. voted to have their own COVID regulation committee?
They did? Can you tell me more about it?
Yeah, so the whole Senate legislatively got together and voted to help have action and have a specific committee decide what the country was going to do about this. So while that was happening nationally in New Mexico, nothing like that was going on at all.
We should have took from what the national level did and applied it here in the state.
Dude, I wonder if there's a group of dudes thinking about doing that in New Mexico.
Dude, I wonder if someone's just like coming up with some bill or just, I don't know,
Hanging
just
out, dude, getting it done. Yo, guys, isn't everything just like crazy these days?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Shoot, man, things are wild these days, bro. It's ridiculous.
Yo, we are going to stop the pandemic.
Seriously, bro. I'm gonna have to step in. I'm really gonna have to step in and put on the big boy boots.
Gotta start to do something to intervene.
Oh, for real? For real? Like, you're gonna stop a virus? Okay, all right, whatever.
Dude, we gotta do something about this.
You look like you buy 4 for $4s from Wendy's on a daily basis.
Nah, dog, we gonna solve it through legislative action.
Yo, you're right. That's the best way to do something in our government.
How are we gonna do that, Eric?
We're gonna write a bill and we're gonna propose it to the Senate and the House of Representatives and get it passed and save New Mexico.
That's a great idea, Eric.
So, like what exactly are we gonna do?
I'm thinking we do like some sort of committee.
Okay, like a committee that maybe checks on businesses to see if they're like actually doing their job being COVID safe.
Yeah, exactly. That would be perfect.
But we gotta pass that through. I mean, we gotta get a sponsor, and then we gotta pass through all these committees. Then we gotta go through the House and the Senate and all this stuff. But how are we gonna make it so it's reasonable?
Well, that's why I talked with Melanie Stansbury, you talked to the business owner, and Kellen talked with his boss.
Yeah. So now we have an insight to actually do something about this virus. Are you kidding me?
In order for businesses to stay open, they gotta follow all the guidelines set in place by the governor. This includes 6 feet social distancing, sanitizing everything, and ensuring that every person inside the building has been tested for COVID, and wearing masks properly.
That's great. And if they don't do those things, they can be in violation of a fine or even shutting down their business.
That's a great idea, Nick.
Nice.
Great guy. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think we need about like $1.5 million to get this thing going.
Bro, how are we gonna afford that?
Yo, I know this girl. Her name is Lady Liberty.
Here's a quick picture of what New Mexico will look like without a COVID regulation committee.
I am Governor Michelle Lewin Grisham, and I have decided, due to my executive powers, that this business right here is going to be closed. But this business right here is going to be left open. You might be wondering why I've thought of that, but it's because there is no legislation such as a COVID regulation committee to keep me a little bit in check.
I understand why you want to close this to prevent the spread of the COVID pandemic, but I'm bending over backwards to follow your guidelines and trying to stay open, and you still close me. Why?
People even stay safe at his restaurant. They love going there. Even when you reopened the state, he was like sold out. Everyone wanted to go there. Even me, I've limited menus and measured chairs between 6 feet. And I even went down to a skeleton crew if only have a GM and a chef. But I can stay open, but not him.
So I understand these times are hard and you're trying as much to prevent the COVID-19 pandemic, but we have families to feed.
Thank you, Governor Lujan Grisham, for listening to us and taking the time to really think about what we said.
I ended up talking to a highly awarded teacher. What she told me is that her students are not only being negatively impacted through this life for their own emotional well-being, but for their educational well-being as well. She wants the governor to know that from her opinion as a teacher, if the governor cared about New Mexicans, she would reopen schools.
So I interviewed my mom, and essentially what she said was that the government is doing a great job. She's basically said that the governor has done everything that she could to slow down the pandemic. The only problem that she has is that the lack of compliance with the governor's rules. She stated that it doesn't really affect you until it affects one of your family members like it has with her, yet people are still able to just go out and do whatever they want just because they're bored.
Here's what you need to know about the pandemic response. You need to know about the state's restrictions so you can follow them accordingly. For the safety of others, we want to stop the spread. Although we need to protect the citizens, we also need to protect the local businesses and the business owners' families.
Here's a couple things at home that you need to know. The governor makes decisions regarding the COVID-19 pandemic response. Quarantining, if exposed, is essential to your safety and the safety of others. Make sure you are wearing your mask correctly. Continue to following the ever-changing rules set in place by the governor. Stay active and maintain social distancing.
Here's a couple things that we can do about it. Follow mandates so we don't get shut down again. Communicate with your local legislators so our voices can be heard. Make sure you live clean at home and wash your hands. Wear your mask and please social distance. Pay attention to what the governor says so you are aware of what's going on. Continue to adapt to changes being made in your state. And lastly, build resilience in yourself and your peers.
Thanks for watching.